The time is now. It's back to the rhymes. It's like, wow, he's back to the rhymes. I'm in the booth, straight dropping dimes. Clark Kent, Daily Planet, the Metropolis Times. I write these raps while I'm under the gun. I see you back to get you some. A little bit of this and a little bit of that. Pure, raw, uncut rap. Back to the rhymes. Now's the time. Time to unwind because it's back to the rhymes. Back to the rhymes. Now's the time. Time to unwind because it's back to the rhymes. Oh, it's only 3:45 in the morning. And I'll get to that, why that is. Just go down the list. I was hoping I could maybe do it Sunday morning, like at a decent time, but I couldn't get myself to do it. So I got today off, so I guess it's okay. I got to thank my wife for convincing me to be smart enough to take the day off. Okay, so Schoolhouse album sales. I don't think I have anything to say about that I can recall. I will be trying to work on it. Schoolhouse album sales. I don't know if I can make it happen with that open mic, but I did listen to track number 4, which is "Stay with You." It's going to take some practice, and I got. Let's see, how many more Saturdays? I got 3 more Saturdays to practice that. What I need to do is just what I could do and might do. I wouldn't want to do it, but I'd like to get the whole thing done. Is I'd like to. Oh, sorry, look at that. It looks kind of crazy. Um, yeah, I want to see what verses are the easiest. There's a bunch of short little verses in it, like 5 of them. So yeah, I'm gonna have to practice that. It's not easy, but I got to do it. Okay, so but at least I listened to it. That was step 1. Now I did get some exciting. I would say some real good progress. I was gonna let you know, Tom, but maybe you'll hear this. But so his name's Trip, and he lives on my old route, and he was a regular at the Little Red Hen up until the shutdown. Now he's been back a couple times. He said, um, but so it's you know we've never talked politics. I know where you're coming from with the politics, so we don't have to even get into that because that wouldn't go anywhere. But when it comes to taste in music, I think we could be on the same page. I've always thought he's got a cool speaking voice, and I haven't heard him sing, but I'm guessing it's pretty cool. So I'd like to hear that. So I got excited. So think he plays guitar. He said he fell into getting into making music for fun, but he's a retired guy, 70, I believe, but kind of a scruffy, scruffy. Like he let his little stubble grow out, and might be good. I think it could be really good. I'd rather have him sing than me, at least for how the song would sound. I'd be very happy, and he writes his own stuff, of course. So we'll see. But I think the next step, he took my number, but he never called me, right? That's how it goes. So I'll see him again. Um, but yeah, I'd say, if anything, since he knows, and we clearly know a lot of people there too. So it'd be nice just to go down there at a time he's there, like on an open mic, and just see what's up. And bring Tom in there, and maybe he could explain what he would like to see have happen. Because again, this is a lot of it has to do with what Tom's vision is for a song, which I'm happy to be a part of. And so to me, this is a big thing because this is real possibility here. So we'll just see how it goes. Man, I don't know. I just skipped that. Anyway, so YouTube channel. started with the short today. Then I went onto the Instagram. The short didn't come off very good, but I'm using it as my warm up. Oh, I gotta say before I forget, my daughter, she's trying to help me, and I appreciate it. With YouTube, I guess in the description you can list out all the places where people could find you when you click read more, that kind of stuff. So she wanted to list that, but I guess my website's not up and running anymore. So I need to go and see what happened, because as far as I knew, I was paying an annual fee for that. And did I not pay this last time? I'm not sure what happened, but I don't see it. That's a bummer, because Giorgio, my friend over on the East Coast, where he lives now, put some time into that, and so did I, sitting there with him. He put a lot of time into putting those lyrics. He typed out all the lyrics. Oh my goodness! So that's really sad. I don't know what happened there. I've been meaning to call him anyway. That's frustrating. There's no way this shouldn't work. I'm sorry. This is ridiculous. Hold on. Post-it note, right? A post-it note. All right. Okay, so that's the latest with that. This is not. Okay. So the website, we don't know what's going on. I don't. So this short I did today, the warm up was with YouTube Shorts, and I did the Instagram, which I think came off a lot better. I don't know what's going on. I thought a post-it note, you just stuck it up there. What are we doing? Post-it notes don't stick anymore. How about this one? There. That's better, isn't it? Right. So, yeah, so that was the warm-up. So again, I got to talk to my daughter, Natalie, and say, what's going on? How are we doing? How am I doing with this short? And I'll just let her tell me what she wants to see, because she didn't like I was putting the rhyme in the title. But when I make the short, it doesn't let me put the line in the description section, but that's after I've already released it. That's a discussion I want to have with her, but it's like, I just assume get it over with. I don't want to release it and then come back and add the description. I just don't understand, because in Instagram I can, there's enough spaces. I guess I'm not giving it a title. And again, I don't do this thing all the time. I'm not what's that, like how, okay, if you smoke cigarettes, you flick a lighter. If if cigarettes is your thing, you flick a lighter, it goes that way. I guess if you're on the internet, it goes the opposite. Whatever. When I say the internet, on your phone, and you're going all day. So I don't do that really. So I guess I'm trying to find out what people who do that are looking for. And so she told me some things. Yeah, I need to I'm still way behind on sharing my videos, and that's fine. I don't know how I'm going to catch up. I really don't. I'm back delivering mail, so it's going to be hard. If I get a day off, if I could knock out 10 in a day, that would help, but it's going to be unlikely, because I'm doing other stuff too. I can skip rules of engagement. I'm working on Bellevue Ballers. So like today, I'm going to be contacting like 10 people. I like to do that stuff on Saturday. That's what I was doing before. Have we call it hour of power, at 2 hours of power, whatever. But it keeps getting pushed back to like a drop dead deadline on Monday. That's the end of my week. That's how it's been set up for me somehow. And so yeah, I squeeze a few of those sharing the tapping into our spiritual roots videos in. While doing that, I could interlock those, overlap those. Anyway, that's why I'm doing this so late, because I was in Boise with my wife. Next year, our daughter will be able to join us. It's going to be very exciting. It's pretty cool down in Boise. I will say that's a nice campus, Boise State. Anyhow, so that was what I was doing. That's why this is so late. Music for Back to the Rhymes. I haven't tried to get a hold of my man yet, Al Ron. He hasn't tried to get a hold of me yet. I assume he's back out and about. But it's just I just gotta see. I really want to see. Am I going to be working Sundays, or am I going to have a day off? What are we going to have here? So I'm in the second week, and one I got through. I only got through 3 days. My footwear's messed up, so I have to gut that out. We're having some issues of my custodian, on my carrier. What am I? So I think we got that figured out. Then what will be the day off? Probably not. It's not going to be 2 days off. I don't need that necessarily. That affects a lot of other things. Like tomorrow, oh my goodness, I got to be in Kirkland at 8. I'm going to have to bust it. So I'm back to this kind of situation as a custodian. I don't have to worry about that. Now I got to be like, all right, what route I'm going to be doing? I'm going to not be delivering much of the ads, the ADVO. These are the decisions. There's a lot of pressure. And it's like I just try to survive the day. I'm trying to survive today. I'm trying to survive tomorrow. It's just like I have a lot of these days where I'm just trying to survive it. How am I going to make it through this day? In terms of getting everything I need to do done. So that's what I'm dealing with. So Trump's going to thump. I did talk to my friends, Ivan and Sandy, about I guess Ivan's all about the Robert Kennedy Jr. and getting the yard sign. He's thinking about doing that. Did I say, yeah, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. That's going to be interesting. But there's something else I could share, but yeah, and that makes sense. I mean, realistically, he's been a stalwart when it comes to this. He's the leading voice against the vax and all that. And then if he just follows that same pattern of decision making through other political topics, you arrive at a good spot. And again, I guess he's my grandfather's Democrat. What can I say? My grandfather wasn't a Democrat, but my dad was basically JFK Democrat. So, okay, my dad's Democrat, So yeah, that was a good conversation, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, he's not going to be able to get nominated, but we'll see. And the only thing I really think, the only way he can really make an impact on this upcoming election, and really probably likely a negative impact, I think he'd probably take more votes away from Trump probably than Biden. I think that's another question if he ran as an independent. That's something you got to pay attention to. I don't know how that works. If you run as a Democrat and don't get the nomination, can you just flip on the switch and be independent? I suppose you could, right? I think so. So we'll see. Because I think here, that's a good one. Probably one of the first debates. So, Mr. Kennedy, whatever, do you pledge to support whoever wins the Democratic nomination? Do you pledge to endorse them? That's the kind of stuff. And that's what they did with Trump right out the box, right? Remember that? So I think the same would probably happen with Kennedy. That would make sense. And so what's he going to say? He's probably going to have a hard time agreeing to that, but we'll see. All right. You will be glorified. So nothing new to report on that. I thought there was something I was going to talk about. Yeah, okay. Let's just go ahead. So this is an issue. I make insinuations, references, but I think I got to go with this. I'm listening to Christian radio this week, and they say up to 70% of men, and apparently maybe it's 28% of women, struggle with pornography who are Christians, right? Have it maybe, I think their study, Barna, says view it once or more a month. Okay, that means if I'm struggling with it, which I haven't figured out exactly how to deal with it the way I want to deal with it and deal with life, I'm in the majority. Okay, so now, and that's in church. I have a song for this, but I haven't made it yet. We never talk about it. It doesn't get talked about, but 70%? It's just, I can't believe it. It's probably good to talk about at 4 a.m, right? 70%. And so it's like, it's not fun to talk about. No one wants to talk about. What's got to be talked about? We can't not talk about it. We can't not wrap our arms around each other and figure out how to deal with this, because I don't think if it's 70%, that's 70% more than wannabe. If you're in a church, you're not there for that. You're not there because you want to be doing that. And as a matter of fact, it's kind of like if you're not a believer, this is what I was probably going to say. If you're not a believer and you find out, let's say, what's the reason to become a believer then, right? If 70% struggle with this, what's going on? What's the point of being, why make all the sacrifices becoming a Christian if you're still going to have this issue? So, and this issue can be overcome. I know it. I've seen it. Not up close personal. I'm looking for that, and that's why I'm looking for big time. But I know it can be dealt with, and a lot of it has to do with, in my case, I'll say, dealing with just stress, and managing all the stuff coming at me. And I don't know how it is for other people. I know some people it's because of boredom. And I did hear on John Tesh, he has his Intelligence for Life, I guess the sweet spot for rest is somewhere between 3.5 hours of discretionary time per day is like the sweet spot for downtime. You don't want too much of that, but you don't want too little. So maybe it'd be interesting to find out if you're struggling. Like I don't have that 3.5 hours of just, just in general, man, I want to catch my breath and at least zone out for an hour or two on fantasy baseball, Yeah, you get to the point where it's like, man, I just, it's a medication or what have you. So 70%. And so the study also said that 57% of pastors say that's their number one biggest challenge in the church. 57% say that's the number one challenge in the church. How could the biggest challenge in the church not be talked about or, overlooked? Just, oh yeah, people are struggling with XYZ and XYZ and XYZ, but it's not that. How are we going to deal with this? And we're not talking about it, It's just crazy, And so I brought it up once just as a general discussion. It didn't really, because you know what, though, of the 70%, I'd say probably 60% don't even really want to do anything about it. That could be that too, or they're so ashamed or something. And that's sad too. But again, and then if it's 28% of women, which seems like an incredibly high number, what's the percentage that get COVID or smoke cigarettes or whatever? 28%. That's that's over a quarter of women in the church struggling with this. That seems impossible. I don't know. And so you get these stats, but then you don't get discussions and hearing more about it. And again, it's nothing anyone wants to talk about. That's part of the problem. It's really the problem, I mean, who wants to talk about this stuff? But doggone it, it's not just I'm just the weirdo here. We look around the whole church and maybe a couple of us have, no, 70%, so it's like, man, what are we going to do? Go on and on forever and ever with this and never take it on, because that's what it's going to be. Got to take it on. So that's what, and I guess I am my new song. If I look at it, maybe it'll be about that because I feel like that. I guess the song's called If I Gotta Be the Only One, and I'm not. I'm in men's groups, and we're kind of the fringe, we're the fringe because we're actually trying to deal with it, yeah, because I've heard stories so often where it's like guys don't. I don't know. Well, it's kind of like in our Bellevue Ballers business. You don't want to get your hopes up for something that you don't think will ever result in your dream coming true. So maybe it's something like that. It's like, why do I want to confess this sin? Why do I want to approach this if there isn't a path to restoration? Why don't I just keep it quiet? I'm going to keep it quiet because when it comes to our dreams, because that's what we're talking about in my side hustle, people don't want to go there. They don't want to think about their dreams if they've kind of given up on them because you don't want to get your hopes up and then it doesn't happen and that's too painful, right? So that's a strong thing. I'm just the type of person. I guess I'm willing to go through life and at the risk of not accomplishing my dreams, but still pursue them. And things like that, where you're doing things that you don't want to do. I guess sin or addiction and things like that are doing behaviors that you don't want to do, feeling a compulsion or something to do something you don't want to do. And Paul describes it in the Bible and it comes up all the time, but he must have been rising above it or something. So we gotta work on that. So anyway, the song is called If I Gotta Be the Only One. That's not what I was planning to make the song about, but I just feel like that in so many aspects of life. And it's not that I am the only one for stuff. I just feel like I'm the only one so often, and I guess this song is for people who feel like that. You're standing up trying to do the right thing, and being bold or what have you. And it's just easier. Like I said, it's easier for a lot of people not to be bold, but for me, it's not easier. It's tougher because I got to live with myself. So anyway, let's just make the song. If I got to be the only one, so be it. If that's you, if if that seems like you, yeah, I'll just say it. I just go with it. If that seems like you, if that seems like you, seems like you. That's two. With the exclamation point. But I'm here and you're there. Man, I don't know why. I don't really usually feel like what I'm writing on so lousy. Sorry. I'll just keep doing. I guess this is what I normally do. Let's move this thing. All right. When I'm here and you're there. Were we to occupy? No. Were we to occupy the same square Guess that'd be rare. Because we always the only one. Because it be like, hold on. Because it always be like we the only one. I guess I'll use another explanation point. If I gotta be the only one, so be it. That that seems like you. That's two. But if I'm here and you're there, but I'm here and you're there, were we to occupy the same square? Guess that'd be rare. Because it always be like we the only one. Trying to have a bonding experience with others who feel like the only one, right? Okay. Think about red square. When I think of a square, red square, and that's at UW. Cool spot, right? Okay. Because it always be like we the only one. Just I don't even know why I just wanted to write this last time, but I think was it Lecrae called this album Anomaly or something like that. That's right. Okay, so because it always be like we the only one. What's I'll just call it this. What's the use? What's the fun? What's the use? What's the fun if you can't? If you can't stick to your gun. Let alone yo conviction. When I say conviction, stick to your guns, let alone your convictions. Um, um, little to none. I reckon. I don't recall God saying we could. Well, I don't. I can get into some weird theology here. Uh, yeah, because Jesus does do that. Okay, I don't recall God saying we could recall the fall, but His Son but his son could. Okay, we'll stop there. Till next time, back to the rhymes.